Shit. Damn. I'm unbelievable. You can't even see me, huh? What the fuck's going on? There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. What's happening?
What's up
Man.
with it?
All right. Chilling, chilling. Let's get this intro in and let's get this started. Oh shit. Really? Just all kinds of bad today, huh? Rusty. What's happening, man?
Shit, I can't call it. Another
Man,
day, another dollar.
right? Stacking them up and keeping them going, you know? Got to
Yes,
do it, right?
sir.
Shit. Let's see. Let's get over here. Yeah. See what happens when you stop going live all the time? You start getting rusty.
Making mistakes.
Rookie mistakes at that, dude. All right. So we're back at it. Uh Typically this is the slow time of the year. I'm coming on today. We're just gonna have a little discussion. Um did you see the Raiders post how they posted the schedule release?
Oh, you must not have watched the Unfiltered Truth this week.
Brother, I was working 12-hour shifts, dog.
Hey, bro, I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to hear that, and that's why
Hey,
my views were down. So I'm gonna need you to get on now. I'm gonna
I
need,
wasn't there.
hey,
Ain't
I'm gonna
that
need you to lock in. I'm gonna need you to lock in.
because little old me, I call bullshit. Hold on, real quick. There we go. That's a little bit better. Yeah, but nah. Yeah. Um, I thought it was phenomenal. I thought for the first time in probably a long fucking time, excuse me, the media team actually earned their money because let's face it, dude. A lot of times they do some shit. It's just, I, I'm not gonna lie. The Chargers media team usually kills it. You know,
So it hit a point. It hit a point where their ideas kind of went stale, and the Minecraft thing was the anime was way better than the Minecraft thing.
right,
I've seen some interesting ones before. I've seen some bad ones before. The last couple ones that we had were not all that great. This one was hilarious.
right, bro. That Browns one was fucking funny, dude. It was like, wow, they really go, they really go do that, dog. You know what I mean? They really did that. You know what I mean? Like, wow,
They doubled up on the shit after the Bear shit.
right? But dude, I mean, I where's this been? Where's this been for the longest? You know what I mean? Fucking dude, we need a little bit of that, you know?
No, that's real.
Uh, and that whole little of the three teams who played in Los Angeles
Playing Mel Los
was
Angeles. Only
the
two
Super
of them have won the championship.
right? I mean, I love that, bro. Shit, what's happening, Dundee? Man, we just here chilling, trying to get my light right, you know. All right, I got color now. I got some color, you know. But shit, you know, I just sat there and for the first time in probably the last 10, 15 years, I was like, yeah, that's a cool one. That's cool. That's what we needed. That was good. Uh the schedule is now like it's an NFL holiday, and it's a trip that um it's a trip how many people are so interested in a minute. And before it was just like, you got the schedule in the fucking newspaper, or you got to look it up on the internet. You mean it's just now it's a big thing, and kudos to social media. Social media is a big thing now, and it's how people have their presence and stuff. I fool. Ask me no questions, I'll tell you no lies. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know nothing, dog. I'm old, dude. But uh, it was great to see, and it was great to see the team actually start moving along and being a lot more current with today's plight and the fan base. I mean, because we all got social media. I mean, a lot of us here met on social media and stuff like that. So that's how and let's face it, this team has been very, very bad on social media. They don't really do good. You know what I mean? All right. So moving forward, we got the schedule was released. Uh, First of all, what is your thought on the schedule?
So I love it. I love it. There's a lot of winnable. There's a lot of winnable games early up front, and you got to take care of your business, because if you don't take care of your business, the back half of that schedule is a motherfucker.
Right. Okay. Let's look at that back half. You got Cowboys, Browns, Chargers, Broncos, Eagles, Texans, Giants, Chiefs. That is a motherfucker.
That's a motherfucker.
I mean, the easiest game that you're probably gonna have out of all of them is gonna be the Giants. You know, the Texans. Yeah, the Texans is gonna be a beast. The Eagles are officially, you got to start putting them in those conversations as one of the best franchises in the NFL now. I mean,
Now the flip side to that though is that they're also due a Super Bowl hangover.
true, true, and they also lost a lot of their defensive linemen too.
Uh,
You
they
know,
they they drafted Georgia's next incoming crop or
oh
outgoing
yeah,
crop.
right, right. I mean, because they drafted linebackers too. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
kind of
all.
like, you know, I mean, but here's the funny thing though: is Georgia's players is it the same caliber of players though? I mean, because with the
Um,
transfer portal, anything could be, not everything is everything. You know what I'm saying? Or what it
no,
was.
I
Excuse me.
get that. I get that, but at the same time, their defensive linemen and front seven as a whole are usually normally rock solid.
Right,
I have yet to see somebody come out and be bad.
right.
So your Georgia bad is NFL average.
Mm, NFL average, and we all know that NFL average is what every team wishes they had at every fucking position. You know, because it's hard to have that NFL average. So all right, that's a pretty good thing. Um,
Dundee, I'm gonna try to hit a road game this year. I still got to figure out how I'm going to sell this to my wife and convince her not only is it a good idea, but I'm going to do it. But
right.
we're going to hit the EC this year.
Are you going to the East Coast?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool, dog. You need to come down to LA. You might have a ball.
Yeah, the problem is it's too close. I'd have to drive back.
Bro, they sell plane tickets, bro. You know what I'm saying? I
That's a
think what
long drive.
I
Honestly,
mean, fucking
that would be worth the plane ticket.
I mean Stockton is what not too far from there too, right?
I don't even.
There's an airport. Excuse me, there's an airport in Stockton, and that's not too far from me.
It's 150 miles away.
Yeah, I would fly, bro. Bruh. See what Dundee said? uh, hey, bro. To be honest, just taking that drive from where you're at down here, it's a little bit of a beast. You know what I mean? It's a little bit of a beast, and you know what, dude? But I think if you
There's
take it, the day before and then stay a day late, I think it's doable though.
we'll see.
But I mean, you got to make a 4 day thing. Come down on a Friday. You mean, like at fucking 8, 9 o'clock. Or I know you probably want to run that bitch at midnight, huh? No.
It's the only time to set records.
I have who
At midnight's not late
different.
enough.
I have who different. So you get to get through Fresno and all that shit first, while you're wide awake. You know what I'm saying?
True
And
that.
then once you hit the
Or
grapevine, fool, you're straight.
but if it works in reverse too, because on the way back, that's the last.
Yeah. That hey, bro, that's your only like beacon of not talking shit, but I mean that's the only like
So that's
civilization, dog. That's
it's
civilization.
it's the last major mark where you know how in when you run track you turn corner, you bend corners.
Mhm.
When you hit that one, you know you on the down the home stretch.
Right. And I mean, because I'm pretty sure, like recently driving up there, Modesto, all the way through Stockton was like, all right. You'd be like, okay, I'm cool. I mean, fucking, at least a tow truck will be here within a couple hours. Because some of that is like, if we break down, dude, we fuck. You mean? It's a little far. You mean? But shit. All right, so since I'm done talking shit about driving up north, because it ain't really even shit talk. It's just it's.
It's the
I had a
truth.
wonderful time. I had a wonderful time going up north, dude. This last weekend, uh, got to spend time, and see the GB too. You know what I mean? So it was cool. You know, yeah, it was fun. Um, but let's get into the schedule.
You be
So
home by 10 flying. Oh, you must live someplace else. Ain't no way in hell it would take me till 10 to fly back.
but is that 7 p.m. and then driving home, or was it getting on the? I mean, because still, I mean, fucking 3 hours. Bro, if that's me getting to the airport, jumping on a plane, getting off, going through all the security, driving home, and all that shit, I do that all day, dog, all fucking day, all day. And especially if you set it up in advance, you can get these tickets really cheap. You know what I'm saying? Really, really cheap.
Mm. True that. And anything is cheaper than going to Allegiant these days.
Right? Hold on real quick.
Anything is cheaper than going to Allegiant.
Bro. You know what? I just gotta go one time even. Just so I could
Say you did.
yeah,
It's
because
nice.
I'm kind of like on that whole kind of Raiders ain't gave me nothing good. So why am I going? You know what I mean? Like, I got no hope. So, and it's kind of like it's not that I don't have any hope now. It's just, You know what? I really want to see this team do. I want to see them draft a young quarterback. And put a commitment into that.
Well,
Um,
that so it's funny that you mentioned that because I had in a separate conversation the name Trey Hendrickson had come up and said, "Oh, the Raiders can afford to burn a draft pick and go and trade for him." I said, "Nope, you're missing one piece. That's going to require that first round pick, which is what it's going to take for you to get Trey Hendrickson out of Cincinnati. That's that first round pick. You
right.
you still need that."
I get it. I get it.
And as you said, that quarterback of the future, whether Gino is all that in a bag of chips and he's all that in a bag of chips for the next 3 years, you still need to have that guy. And
Right.
we're at a point now where I can feel confident and comfortable, and maybe it's a bit premature because we have yet to see what some of these guys do on the field, but in terms of what we've put together on offense, I feel as though the only remaining piece that needs to be added is to have the nucleus moving forward is your quarterback of the future.
Right. I, I'm with that. I mean, the Raiders literally are in position right now to have the best tight end in the NFL and the best running back in the NFL. They did put themselves in a good position in that sense. Um, have I been vocal of wanting the team to get a quarterback? Yes. I mean, that's when you know your team is serious about winning. In today's NFL, you have to have the young quarterback. It's there's no way around it at this point. There's a hard salary cap in the NFL. You need to have a young quarterback you can develop and pay a defense, because at some point you're gonna have to pay that quarterback. You mean? And you typically want to get rolling by what year 2 3 with the young guy, so you can make a run at it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I'm waiting to see from my team, because to be honest, sometimes it feels like, are we allergic to quarterbacks? like are we allergic to drafting them? Bro, in my lifetime, I think in the first round we drafted two.
It's the organizational philosophy, friend, and this is bestowed upon us by our great maverick owner, Al Davis. Said he believed in the journeyman quarterback and putting pieces around him, so all he had to do was distribute the football and not turn it over, and you would
Mhm.
be okay. And I've heard this phrase so many times it makes me sick. You don't commit to excellence and just win, baby, and keep grabbing bargain store bin parts, and expecting to get peak performance.
Right, because you out here trying to race a Pinto. Don't get me wrong. There's some badass Pintos
Hey,
in this fucking world.
hey, but
Don't get me
hey, but
wrong,
it's on
dog.
12s and they keep them clean though.
They keep them hella clean though, dog. You mean got the valve cover fucking strapped down with the ratchet strap, because they gonna blow that bitch off. You know what I'm saying? Shit. I just want. Hey, Dundee, I shot that to you, dog. But yeah, man, that's a trip, dude. That is such a trip. Oh shit, what happened? Hold on. All right, so there he is. Let me see
There we go.
what's happening, sir. How you
What
doing?
up, gentlemen? Nice to see y'all.
Hey,
Nice to see you, sir.
It's been a minute.
a
Right?
long one,
Yeah.
long one.
Yeah, I got all these grades all up on my chin now. I think the last
Bro,
time I
don't,
seen
don't,
y'all,
don't
man,
even don't even start
they
with me,
weren't
dog.
there. So,
The,
Hey, don't start with me.
right.
Don't start with me, dog.
yeah.
Said watching the color just fade.
Right?
Yeah.
I do
How's
remember.
everything been going though? What are you
So
guys
what's
chatting
happening?
about right now?
Right now we're talking about just different things with the team. Uh, you know, we're about to go over the schedule, right? And see what everybody thinks might happen, possibilities. I was talking about, I'm waiting to see a commitment from this team about actually drafting the quarterback. This is something
Right.
that this team actually needed to do for a long time, and they keep putting it off. They basically keep giving us
Kicking the
Derek
can
Carr,
down the road,
Derek
and
Carr with extra cheese or Derek Carr light. You know what I mean?
extra
You know,
sauce, bitter
so it's kind of like
anchovies, all of that shit.
right. So you mean,
I ain't
and I'm
gonna
waiting
lie,
for this
man.
team
Like
to actually commit.
these past two drafts, though, you were under the impression that this team was gonna draft a quarterback, and they did and stuff. So I'm just like, you know what? Eventually, they're gonna get around to it. But
And
I
Right.
guess they focusing on
that's
other
kind
stuff.
of the way that they did it. To be honest with you, Dundee, if you look at it, like right before you got on, I just got through telling Rich, I was like, if you look at the way they've drafted and the way they've gone about selecting players around it, the only real piece that makes sense to draft on offense now is the quarterback.
Right.
Right.
You got to get a whole new crop of wide receivers. You got two replacement tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
Your running back of the future, who's supposed to be the guy. But
Right.
I'll put this question to you too, like this, and I know the answer, but it's just going to be funny how fast you come up with this. So you give me Ashton Genty out of college right now, or Reggie Bush coming out of USC. Who are you taking?
Reggie Bush.
And yeah, like freaking, you'd have to take Reggie Bush just because of the bells and whistles, but like diving deep into the stats and stuff like that, you're better off with the Ashton Genty. Like, let's
Are
just
you
be real.
are you sure about that?
You, my Sir Dundee, are the first person that I've heard say that. Period.
Mm-hmm. I no, trust me.
Every single person that and I mean every single one of them, but you,
Mm-hmm.
has said Reggie Bush there's not even been a micro thought about it.
Right. But like, so my thing was going into the draft because I was hung up on like, hey, freaking come six. Do you take a Shador? Do you take an Ashton Genty? Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I'm going to YouTube. I'm looking at videos and stuff like that. But I was like, no, I got to dive deeper into that. So I went to stats. So I was looking up Ashton Genty stats at Boise State, and he was there for what, 3 years, right?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
I want to say he was there for 3 years. So my comparison when I keep on seeing Ashton Genty is like in my mind, I'm like, this motherfucker better be like LT. That's all I'm saying. You cannot be anybody else. You better be somewhere between LT or LT light. So I compared their stats, and the funny thing is, their stats were somewhat similar, even though LT had an extra year in college.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people brought up about the wear and tear of Ashton Genty taking so much, or having so much mileage on his legs and stuff. So I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like, okay. I'm like, if you're somewhat around the same ballpark as LT, if you could give us some sort of LT light, like I have no problem with you being drafted at 6. So that was my whole philosophy. Like when they picked him, I'm like, all right, like my expectation is not going to be through the roof, but like I'm expecting you to come in, like be in the talks for a rookie of the year, at least like I'm gonna say 1,350 yards rushing. Like
Right.
that's just my own like standard that I have him at. So like I really
All
had
right,
to
let me
dive
ask you
deep
a
on that
question
one.
though. What if he's more like MJD?
Yeah, you could say that.
I mean, because you
But
can actually,
Well,
you
I'm
can
being
actually
greedy. I ain't gonna lie. I'm being greedy,
guys are
man. Like
I mean,
people,
dude is an inch taller than me.
I hear that, but I'm being greedy though, man, because they said this is a
I
generational
mean,
running back. I'm like, all right, so
okay,
I need
who
some like
said he was a
generational
generational running
LT
back?
kind of stats.
I honestly, because I think LT is shooting for the moon,
Oh, absolutely, he was
shooting for the moon, and I don't think Ashton Genty is that guy.
right.
I think he's solid.
I agree, but I'm like,
He's not LT.
oh, I
Sorry.
agree. Trust me. Watching the highlights and the videos and stuff like that, I'm just like, I don't see it there. Like, there's something different. You could like, if anything, your comparison, Rich, was probably more spot on than what my expectation is. He's probably like a MJD 2.0.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
that
still
makes more
doable.
sense.
I mean, MJD did lead the league, I think, 2 years
Mm-hmm.
in rush. You know, I mean, he was a solid running back, right?
Right.
I've heard some people try to say he was was it Richardson?
Trent Richardson?
Out yeah, Trent Richardson out of
Nah,
Alabama.
man. Nah, he's better than that.
Rash.
He's better than that.
Bro, I'm just, bro. I didn't
Yeah,
say I agree.
that's just
People
disrespectful.
said this, dog. And I mean, okay,
That's
look,
disrespectful.
I'm not gonna lie. He beat the brakes off of Oregon, and there's a lot of NFL players on that defense.
There's a lot of other teams that beat the brakes off of Oregon too.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But I'll say this though, he did not beat the brakes off of Penn State.
Oh,
And
yeah, he definitely
had one of those type of defenses.
his flaws were definitely exposed that game for sure.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Penn State lucked out. Penn State lucked out and had to play a team that was physically incomparable. That was a bad matchup.
Yep.
Right.
What Boise State did well played exactly into their hands. They had no outside threats against Penn State whatsoever.
Nope.
That will not be the case on this football team.
Oh, and then Oregon came in there fucking hella cocky too, because they was they was playing more. Bro, you should have sold out for the run, dog. What the fuck are y'all playing base defenses and shit, bro? Like, the fuck is wrong with you, dog? You mean put some respect on his name? You mean
that's why you gave up?
Figured it out. It was too late, dog.
That's why he tore their ass up.
Oregon, but I mean, Oregon does that though. You mean
they do that every year? Every year,
you mean
they come in hot and they do some stupid shit where they don't respect their opponent and get beat, take themselves out of a championship game.
Oh, we was talking about shit. Should the Raiders hire Dan Lanning? You know what I mean? And then after that,
we sure were.
Never mind. Nope.
Nope.
Everybody's like, oh, we're gonna get Ben Johnson. I was like, shit, I'll be happy for Pete Carroll at this point, dude. Make sure we have a competitive team that's gonna come out, play good defense, run the ball, and smack motherfuckers around. I can live with that. You mean?
Right.
So yeah,
it's won championships before. It'll win them again.
Yep. You want them at both levels.
The Eagles just want it like that. You know what I mean?
And then they put together this team, and I'm loving it. Now it's a long way from being completed. They're still gonna tinker, add more here and there as they go along. But what you've seen so far has been some of our fringe guys, our guys that we hope take the next step and develop, get shown the door because their replacement has arrived. And guys who can play, guys who are hell. I was excited about the UDFA list. That list had me hyped. I was like, bro, these dudes are some dogs right here.
Right.
How the fuck did Greedy Vance go undrafted though? You mean
like he's 5'9"?
But it's not just Greedy Vance. I know there was a corner out of Kansas.
He should have been drafted.
Yeah, and then there's a DN out of Minnesota too that I saw. And I'm like, man, how's this guy not get picked up?
Forget about not getting drafted overall. Period. How did this guy not get picked up in the second or third minimum. I mean,
Bruh.
he's playing in the Big Ten, so you
Mm-hmm.
can't dismiss what he's out there doing. He's doing it against the cream of the crop. How is
Mm-hmm.
this possible that this dude did not get drafted? I'd have drafted him high.
Right? I'm just like over here, like, man, freaking Christmas came
Like,
twice already
wow.
with that one.
Yeah.
No,
That
don't
dude,
get me wrong.
that dude's measurables and
They
just
hit it
his
out of the
tape
park
right now, I'm just like,
in the
man.
draft.
And then you gonna have Max Crosby as your freaking mentor and Malcolm. All right,
Malcolm,
Right?
Malcolm better be careful. Malcolm better be
right?
careful. He'll be up out of there in a cool one because Joyner is coming for that spot. And that dude he does it all. He plays the run and rushes the passer. I mean,
Mhm.
watching that dude get a sack while the lineman has got both hands hooked inside his shoulder pads and is yanking him back.
Raking
And
them back.
and he still made the sack. I'm like, him.
Yep.
That's
Like
Give
him.
him all the
I've seen all
preseason
I
reps.
needed to see. I've seen all
Right,
I
right.
needed to see. Get him a jersey.
Straight up.
I do think they hit it out of the park with the draft. I mean, they really did. They got a lot of value for all the picks, other than drafting a quarterback early. Is my only problem. You mean? Like I actually like both the offensive lines linemen they got in the what? Was that the third round?
Third round. Yep.
Yeah. They had
Fourth.
first 3 rounds they had 5 picks, right?
Yeah.
First, Genty, Beck, Darian Porter,
Then it was Grant, right? No, it was
Grant. Okay, I would.
Grant, or was it Grant and Rogers? Grant and Rogers.
Yeah, Grant and Rogers.
Yeah.
Okay, but I would rather have had Shador and not have Grant. You know what I mean? Like, but I understand. There's certain things in politics and things that go on, and like a lot of people have said, it wasn't that Shador's game tape. Well, some of it was. I think I talked to you, Robinson, about it, but I know Dundee. Do you ever listen to Marcellus Wiley?
nope. I can't stand him, man. I ain't gonna lie. I can't.
That makes sense.
I can't,
huh?
bro. I used to follow him. I ran into him at a monster truck rally at Angel Stadium too. And I chatted with him for a little bit. But just like football wise, oh, for sure I'm gonna listen to him. But everything outside of football, I'm like, yeah, I can't do it.
All right, so
You're in the wrong tax bracket to be kicking it with athletes, my boy.
Right.
You're in the wrong tax bracket. None of that shit they talking about is ever gonna make sense because you ain't got enough.
Trust, I already know.
Yeah.
All right, so he said the differences between Jackson Dart and Shador Sanders is instinct. When the pocket breaks down, Jackson's Dart's instinct is to climb the pocket, and then or take off. Climb the pocket and take off. Shador's instinct is to drop back.
Okay.
And scramble. He goes. He ain't got his pop speed.
Oh no, absolutely not.
And then and just because you're a Sanders don't mean that you can get away with that in college, but it's not healthy in the NFL.
All right, but to that argument though, depending on what team, like let's be real. New York right now and Cleveland. Let's say it's a couple years down, Jackson Dart and Shador's freaking starting, right? Like just from their college tape, I saw more of Jackson Dart, once the pocket collapsed, just take off and run, compared to Shador trying to do whatever he can to exhaust himself to make sure that he can find an open receiver before he takes off.
That's because he can't run. I mean, it's not that he can't run. It's that when he runs, he's absolutely nothing special when it comes to running.
It's the 4.7, 4.8 speed, yeah, for sure.
But
All right.
I got to dip out of here, fellas. Thank you for having me, Rich Dundee. Good to see you, my brother. We'll have to.
Take care, Phil.
No, I actually get that. And here's the funniest part about all that, dude.
Mm,
Jackson Dart is a better athlete than fucking Shador Sanders.
no, for sure, absolutely.
And his dad is fucking Deion Sanders.
Yeah,
Deion Sanders used to fucking run himself out of play so he can get a ball thrown his way.
dog. I remember those days, dude.
You know what I'm saying? Like this is how fast his daddy was. He'd run the opposite
Mhm.
direction. So they might throw the ball his way. He'd be like, fucking,
Like I still go back to the time when he was playing for the Yankees and he hit that ball and Bo Jackson like it was just out of his reach and Deion went from first to freaking home in a matter of like what 13, 14 seconds.
right. You know,
I was just like,
it's a trip. You mean?
it
And
is.
then, you know, all these things, right? And then, you know, just watching how it went down. I honestly I didn't get it. You mean? I didn't
No,
get
for
it.
sure.
If they felt that maybe they just could not work with Shador, then it is what it is. You mean?
I
But
think most teams were intimidated that Pops would be there to have some sort of input or say about
oh,
anything and everything.
Pops also is going to tell you, say publicly, maybe I need
Right.
to come and be the head coach.
Because think about it. Like you now have Pops at the University of Colorado right now. He has both his sons at freaking in Cleveland and in Tampa Bay right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, those are three locations right now where the conversation is going to be centered about, hey, what does your dad think? Hey, what do you think about your son's performance or how they're doing in X, Y, and Z?
But he also got Agent Orange involved in it too, though. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You know,
I
and
think that's
it's
what most teams are trying to avoid is just like trying to pull the focus off of just the last name rather than just the gameplay on the field and stuff. And
yeah.
as much as it sucked to see him drop like that, like he should have never been drafted in the fifth. He should have been drafted in at least the early second if teams had some sort of red flags or something going on. But
He's
yeah,
a late first round quarterback
right.
that you can legitimately talk yourself into drafting top 10.
Right.
You mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the honest truth about everything. He's a first round talent, and he went in the fifth. But good for him. He's gonna have everything he needs. I mean, everything ain't legendary, bro. You're gonna have to work for this. You mean? Let's face it. If you're drafted outside of 7 picks in the second round, bro, you're a backup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Straight up, dude. You're a backup. You get everything. You get everything you earn. And good for him.
No, for sure. He's gonna be all right, man.
Sure he's learned a lot.
Honestly, I have him starting this season, like
Think so?
mid-season. Oh yeah, come on, look at that quarterback room.
Bro, and he wasn't even the first quarterback they drafted. That was the fucked up part.
Mm-hmm. Bro,
Like, you draft who before him?
I was like,
I'm
man,
sitting there, bro. Third round, I'm like, Raiders, stop playing with me.
man. And in the back of my head,
Raiders.
the thing that was freaking me out about like Shador being on the draft board so late, I'm like, don't let him go to Pittsburgh, man. Just whatever you do, don't let him go to Pittsburgh. Because if he goes to Pittsburgh, man, like he's gonna revitalize that whole fan base and stuff, that organization, all that. So, but I think Cleveland's a good spot for him though. He's honestly gonna have an opportunity to make a name for himself on his own.
Right.
Like Cleveland is a tough place to like.
He's also gonna be able to get away from his dad's
Mhm.
presence and fucking just like you said, make his own name for himself, be his own strength, and you know that's good, man. Good for the young man. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure.
And
Absolutely.
and to be honest, it was just a big dose of reality that he probably needed anyways.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, for sure.
which fucking sucks.
Right,
The youngsters running around with $20,000 chains on, dog. You know what I mean?
bro. Man,
You know
got
what
my
I'm saying?
kid. Dog, got my kid and his baseball teammates all freaking thinking like having the chains and stuff is like, it's like a form of status and stuff. I be trying to tell them kids like, hey, y'all don't need that, man. Like, trust me, I see it. It's flashy, it's cool and all that. But
It is.
he has to still go out there and perform. At the end of the day, you have to go play your game. If you don't play your game, you'll find yourself cut. You working at no disrespect, working at like a Home Depot or something, Like, let's just be real.
Right. And the funniest part is that's Deion Sanders, son. He'll never work at a fucking Home Depot.
Yeah, very true. That dude is set for
You know
life.
what I mean? That ain't happening, dog. You know what I mean?
Yep. All right, Rich. So you said you were going to go over the schedule and stuff.
Oh, of course, sir. Yes.
Let's go over this, man. Freaking.
I want to know.
I haven't been on this junk in a minute, man. Freaking. I might be a little rusty, in all honesty.
Hey, bro. All right. So we got our first two games.
Yeah.
We got Raiders. Hold on. Is he Raiders at Patriots, right?
Mm-hmm. I like that matchup.
I like the matchup.
And going to the East Coast early in the season, perfect.
Oh, but this is a Pete Carroll team,
right?
This is a Pete Carroll team, and guess what? That whole fucking they don't win on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm. And Pete has a little. And Pete's gonna have a little something to say about going back to Boston, right? Or back to Foxborough. Yeah, for sure.
Because Bill Belichick certainly won a lot of Super Bowls with his players.
Mm-hmm. And he was there right before all that happened.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I got them running out with the dub with that one. Let's go with this one. We got Monday Night Football at Allegiant Stadium
against the Chokers.
Right?
Oh man.
Honestly,
can't wait.
I think we're gonna go 1-1 with them this year.
You think we'll take an L at home against them?
I think we take the dub at home.
Okay. See now, I'm willing to take a L at home against them just to get that win in LA, man. Because we have not won in LA at all.
SoFi.
Yeah.
What you say? So you want to exercise some demons at SoFi?
Yeah,
right?
bro. I'm sorry.
Okay. So we gonna sit down and commonly agree that this is an L.
I'll take an L.
All right, cool.
I'll take an L, man.
All right, so let's figure this one out. We are at. Let me make sure.
Let me pull.
The Commanders.
Oh,
right?
Shoot. Yeah.
This team was just in the NFC Championship.
Yep.
They have a young, dynamic quarterback
that the Raiders should have had. But there's ties to Southern California, with this cat.
Like 10 minutes away from me.
Yeah. So he's definitely gonna feel some type of way.
I mean, because Bryce Young,
mm-hmm.
CJ Stroud, and Jalen is all 15 minutes away from me.
Yeah, man.
Bryce went to Modern Day.
Man, I remember watching high school football on Fridays with these guys playing and stuff. I remember CJ was out in
Montclair or Upland?
Upland. He was at Upland.
Okay.
Then you had Jalen Daniels at El Cajon out in San Bernardino. I caught a CIF championship game of his. And then you had, Bryce Young at Modern Day, which is honestly 10 minutes away from me.
Right.
I'm like,
okay, I'm sorry. Bryce Young lived 10 minutes from me? Did I go
Right.
to school 10 minutes from me?
No, for sure.
He lived out in the Inland Empire, though.
But when you're in Southern California, everything is like within a matter of like 30 minutes without traffic.
Right.
Let's just be real.
Unless
So-
you're Victorville, Palm Springs.
Oh yeah, then that's a mission.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like if there ain't no traffic, I can hit downtown LA in 40.
Right?
Mhm.
I could probably hit downtown LA from where I'm at in about like 35 minutes.
Okay.
30 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I do think the Commanders have done a lot of good things. I think J5 is that dude. I'm sorry.
I
got
yeah,
my team.
I agree.
My beloved Raiders taking the L.
Mhm. I agree.
Okay. Let's get back to this. Then we got the Bears at home.
Yeah, freaking Pete Carroll ain't gonna let that happen.
Offense, a loaded Bears offense. You have Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, DJ Moore. They got a cool little running back room. They built an offensive line. No, they built an offensive line. Excuse me.
Who did the Bears play before that? That's my question.
I have no idea.
Let me see if I can pull up their schedule.
Yeah, you do that because I gotta stay on task.
Oh no, for sure. Because if they're playing the Lions before us, man, I got us.
Okay.
For some reason, the Lions are like I've been following them a lot more lately and stuff. I just feel more gravitated to them and like watching them play just because like they're that gritty, grimy team right now that's out there actually like putting in work.
Mm-hmm.
And Amon-Ra St. Brown, being there, like, he, like being from Orange County and stuff. Like,
Right.
I follow him and his brothers, man.
I get it.
Yeah. They play the Cowboys the week before us. But they play the Lions before that.
I'm gonna give them. I'm gonna give the Bears the dub on that. I'm sorry, dude.
Right.
If you want, you can differ with me.
I figured. Hey, the Raiders got at least every month. They need to go at least 2-2 or better.
Okay, so I'm gonna put you down for the dub right there.
Yeah, put me down for a win.
That's okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, then next week it's at the Colts, right?
Right.
I'm sorry. Colts are hold on. No,
we're in Indy. Right? Yeah, we're in Indy.
Honestly, I got them coming out with the dub with that one.
They should. I absolutely
I don't think Anthony Richardson is anything to write home about. Yeah. I think the Raiders have the dub.
They're not they don't like optics wise, they don't look too too threatening and stuff right now. Let alone in their own division either. I could put Jacksonville and who else is in their division? Maybe Jacksonville and the Texans in front of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they would be the bottom half of their division right now. So
right. All right, so let's move on to we got the Titans at the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
That should be another W.
I agree.
I mean, there's a reason why they had the number one pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now this is where it's tricky. I got the Raiders going 1-1 with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay. Now.
Here's my thing, though.
Yes, go ahead.
I don't know if the Raiders actually beat them at home. Because it seems like we can only beat them at their house.
Hey, that shit has to change, man. That shit has to change. I will take a L in Arrowhead if we could beat them week 18 going into the playoffs.
Okay. I accept that. That's an L.
They have to get over that hump man. It's been far too long. And again, like kind of like with SoFi stuff, the Raiders got to start. They have to put their foot down on territories that they know that they reign dominant at.
Right. All right. So we got week 8, right?
Yep.
The Jacksonville Jaguars are at the Las Vegas Raiders.
Honestly on this one, I'm on the verge of saying this would be one of those games where we mess around and freaking lose. Jacksonville's not a bad team.
Jacksonville's not a bad team, right?
Yeah, they're not a bad team.
However, I think by this time of the year, these motherfuckers don't want to hear motherfuckers talk about Duval. So I got the Raiders with
JPJ on that. Hey, JPJ on the scheduled release video. I was like,
right.
Darn. That was a good one.
Right. All right. So you got them with the L or with the dub?
I'm gonna give them an L on this one.
All right, cool. This is cool. All right, so now we're kind of like at the meat and potatoes of the schedule. We're starting to get hard.
Yep. The reality check.
Right. Hey, are you good enough? Are you strong enough?
Mm-hmm.
Are you bad enough? Are you going to be that team where other teams are like, fuck, I don't want to play these motherfuckers.
Exactly.
I'm beat up and they keep hitting me in the mouth. Right.
And what better opponent to do it against than the freaking Broncos? Right. Thursday night. Short week.
Here's my thing. I'm going to say this one. The Raiders start their next streak against the Denver Broncos.
You too?
So
how long streak for?
How long? They got a fresh young running back. And what do we do best with Broncos? We fucking run them into the fucking ground.
Yep. And then our defense steps up always.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Let alone prime time in Denver too. Oh, trust me. Yeah. We're all for it.
Yeah.
And like you said,
right.
Yeah, it's going to start a streak too. But man, it's going to be a phenomenal streak. How I see it.
Right. Okay. Now this is a big game, and
big time.
Sometimes this team, when they can manage and stay healthy, they actually do really, really good. I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboys.
Right.
Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, they have not won a playoff game in probably 30 years, and you can say what you want, but you don't want to see the Cowboys if they're all healthy. Cowboys bring it. So, what's your thoughts on that game? Because I don't know what to think.
Man, there's nothing better than being the Cowboys. With all the Cowboy fans that I know out here, man, there's nothing like having that bragging right over them. Like I'm telling you, I'm still thriving off of the one from Thanksgiving, dog. I will not let that one go.
So you got it with the W?
Oh, big time. And we're at home too?
Okay.
So hey, come to Allegiant, and show your way out. Get out of here.
Bro, here's my thing. I think the refs help them win.
Man.
I think the refs help the Cowboys
win. Bro.
There's gonna be some more bullshit. Honestly, I do.
No more index cards.
Right. Next week we got the Browns at the Raiders, right?
I ain't gonna lie. I think Shedeur will probably be playing around this time too.
Right.
And I'm gonna say this. He will probably be their best option. But he's gonna go through some bumps and bruises. But his bumps and bruises will be a lot more promising than the other quarterbacks.
I think the Raiders' defensive line is too much for him. He's running backwards all game, dude. That's an L.
Absolutely.
That's an L.
Absolutely.
They ain't got Nick Chubb no more.
I'm not going to say they're going to be competitive or anything like that. But you know what? We can't disregard Cleveland's defense. So they're going to have a very great defense.
Yes, they will. But guess what? We're gonna have 2 outside fucking receivers who love to run block.
Oh,
and do all the dirty shit.
I can't wait.
I'm really excited about Jack Bash. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
seriously, because it's basically like we got two of the same guys now. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they just complement the tight end. You know?
Mm-hmm. Shit, a game
All
like
right,
that, you
so
got to go double tight.
bro, hey, you never know. You might trade one of your tight ends.
I hope not.
The season's over.
I hope not. I say you keep him. Let him shine and flourish this year. If you're looking to move him next year, y'all might get
Hey,
more
bro,
value.
he Michael Mayers could be a really good tight end in the NFL. I just don't think he'll ever be Brock Bowers.
No,
Brock Bowers is just
but the thing is, I'm not expecting him to be like a Brock Bowers. Like if you could somehow, some way have some sort of a Gronk and Hernandez kind of like a tight end room in,
uh-huh.
I'm all for it.
Okay, but I don't think he's Gronk either though. Because
Yeah,
let's be honest, dude. Gronk did it all.
very true.
Gronk is honestly is probably name me a more all-around tight end than Rob Gronkowski. I mean, to beat the Rams in the Super Bowl, he solo blocked Aaron Donald. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So he
Yep.
came out there and blocked, caught passes. He did it all. Now Aaron Hernandez, I can see Bowers.
Besides the off the field stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Besides that, that other shit, yeah.
Dog, he was.
Aaron Hernandez, yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. Like during that time, man, he was a fun watch. Him and Gronkowski for New England, they
Right.
were a fun watch because them
Hell
two
yeah.
dudes on the field at the same time. Like, hey, pick your poison.
Right? All right, so we got through the Browns. We're back at the Chargers. And you said that this was
This is the game that I'm going to, and they're gonna win finally.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, and then we got the Donkeys, and we agree we started another sweep.
Yep.
Then
Oh,
we
this
got
next one.
the Super Bowl champions.
Yeah. Hey, man, I want to convince the wife. I'm like, hey, you know what we should do? We should just go to Philadelphia just for one weekend, just random.
Are you sure you want to go? Wouldn't you rather go to Texas?
No, man, I want to go to Philadelphia because I know their friends get rowdy and stuff like that. But like my good friend Jimmy's a Eagles fan and stuff, man. Freaking, he went. He's like, yeah, man, freaking, our fans are reckless, but you'll have a good time. I'm like, man, if they're down to have a good time, shoot the shit and stuff, watch a good game, I'm all for it. And every time we've played Philadelphia, the game was always a lot tighter than what people expect.
I agree. So, what's your verdict?
I'm not going to say we're not going to pull it out. It will be a close game for sure.
I agree. I agree.
But this is where you want to get your L's out before going into the postseason stretch and stuff.
Right. No, I agree.
You got
and it
3.
doesn't get easier right now, right?
No, absolutely not.
Now you got the Houston Texans.
Mm-hmm.
The Houston Texans could be
in Houston.
Yeah. The Houston Texans can be literally a top 10 team or a bottom 10 team.
Mm-hmm.
You never know. I think they bounced back. I think they drafted well. I think they added good pieces in the offseason.
Right.
The Raiders, they've only, to me, honestly, I think the Raiders had 2 really good, solid drafts. They ain't there yet. That's an L, bro. I'm sorry.
So be it, man. But if I'm correct, though, we're still somewhat in playoff contention, though, right? According to our projections.
Right. And then we got the last 2 games.
And we're going streaking.
Right. So we already got one. We already got one as a dub, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right.
We got to play the Chiefs twice. We said we're taking an L in Kansas City.
Right.
And then we win one at home because we got to exercise some demons, right? Got to make this house a happy home, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we got Giants at the Raiders.
That's a blowout.
Okay, so
Florida.
got that.
That might be one of their. That might be the Raiders' cheapest ticket this whole season.
No, it's not. It's gonna be the most expensive. That's a win. That and the Titans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hey, bro. You know what I mean? So, all right. So let's tally this up, right? I'm gonna go ahead and move first, right? So, wow. I'm not really this optimistic either one. All right. So you got wow. The difference is really wow. All right, so you got him going 12-5.
Oh, sheesh. Dang. That's being generous. All right, maybe there's a couple of
10-7. I got
10-7?
10-7.
Bro, man, so no, regardless, we have them over 500.
Right.
Like they should be in playoff contention at the end of the season. That's how I see it.
Right.
And like you said, they're splitting with the Chiefs and they're splitting with the Chargers. And I think those two games right there are probably the most important games for them, like when that time comes. Like they need to make sure that they are able to walk away splitting that series. Because if they can't split that series, they're definitely not getting the playoffs.
Yeah. All right, man. Look, I already been on for an hour. You know how I always end it. Love the ones who love you. Because you never know how long you have them. And it's very, very important that you make sure you tell the people you love them, because we don't know how long we all have. So Dundee, I'll see you backstage. I'm gonna end the stream. Yeah. Peace out.
Have a good one, everyone.
Thank you, Mo. You've done the Lord's work. Jones, you done pouting? You want to come out and say goodbye, or are we just gonna roll through this?
Y'all kiss my black ass.
Yeah.